And in Iran, anti-regime protests enter a third week. Activist groups say hundreds of people have been killed so far. President Trump's security team is expected to hold a meeting on Iran today. And now Iran's exiled crown prince is urging the White House to step in. He spoke with our Norah O'Donnell yesterday.
The best way to ensure that there will be less people killed in Iran is to intervene sooner so this regime finally collapses and puts an end to all the problems that we are facing. We are at war and we have to make sure that we are victorious.
For more on the situation in Iran, CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams joins us from Iraq, just next door. Holly, good morning once again. The exiled crown prince says he may be a transition, a bridge, not a destination. What do we know about response options on the table for President Trump at this point?
Good morning, Errol. Well, look, US officials have told CBS News that President Trump has been briefed on an array of different options. So not just potentially military strikes on Iran, but also perhaps cyber operations or even psychological campaigns. Meanwhile, last night, President Trump announced a new 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran. At the same time, though, there are signs that Iran is seeking negotiations, is seeking some kind of diplomatic solution to this crisis. With direct communications taking place between Iran's foreign minister and President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. This morning, we spoke with an investigator for an Iranian human rights monitoring group. He lives in exile just across the border here in Iraq, and he works with a network of people documenting the protests, documenting the violent crackdown in Iran and the deaths. Now, he said to us that US strikes on Iran could be helpful to the protesters. Particularly, he said, if they're not just symbolic, but actually target the Iranian regime's ability to control the people of Iran. But interestingly, Errol, he said that much more useful than US airstrikes would be anything that the US government can do to get the internet working in Iran again. As you know, the internet was cut off last Thursday evening in Iran, apparently an attempt by the authorities to stop protesters from organizing with each other. Some people have been using Starlink to get internet access, but the authorities seem to be jamming that as well. This investigator, this Iranian investigator, said that if the US government can help get the internet to work again, then the Iranian people can bring about change themselves.
And Holly, you and I have spoken about just how challenging it is to understand day to day what's happening because of the communication blackout. But what do we know? What is the latest about what's happening inside Iran?
Well, an Iranian official says that the death toll in the protests is around 2,000. That's according to the Reuters news agency. But that official apparently blamed, quote, terrorists for the deaths of civilians and security personnel. That's despite videos that appear to show Iranian security personnel actually opening fire on the protests. Meanwhile, yesterday, Iran's government held its own mass rallies around the country. At the rally in Tehran, Iran's capital, a senior Iranian official called President Trump, delusional and arrogant. And he vowed that Iran would retaliate if it comes under military attack by the US. That official said, quote, "We are ready to face you. Come and see what will happen to American bases, shipping and forces."
Important updates there. Holly Williams joining us from Iraq with all of that. Holly, thanks.